Leah Bennett sat in front of the vanity, at the Hudson Ridge estate, letting the makeup artist pin the last pearl into her hair. Outside the bridal suite, the string quartet warmed up, and the low hum of guests drifted through the door like distant ocean surf. "This is real," Leah whispered, staring at her own reflection. She looked like someone else's dream, white silk, soft blush, hands steady even when her heart was sprinting. A knock came, light and polite. "Come in." Ella Bennett stepped inside with a flute of champagne in one hand, and a smile that seemed practiced in a mirror. On paper, they were identical. Same jawline, same dark hair, same dimple on the left cheek. In the air between them, they were not the same at all. "Leah," Ella said sweetly. "You look stunning. I brought you a toast. To my little sister, the perfect bride." Leah laughed, relieved by the normalness of the moment. "Thank you. I thought you would not even show up." Ella's smile tightened, then softened again. "Of course I would. I am family." She held out the glass. Leah took it without thinking. Champagne, cold and sharp on her tongue, bubbles popping like tiny fireworks. For a few seconds, she felt only joy. Then the room tilted. Leah blinked hard, gripping the edge of the vanity. Her stomach sank as if the floor had dropped away. The pearls in the mirror blurred, doubled, tripled. "Ella." Leah tried to stand. Her legs forgot how. Ella set her own glass down and watched, head angled, curious, like she was waiting for a timer to go off. Leah's voice came out thin. "What did you put in it?" Ella exhaled, and the sweetness fell from her face like a mask sliding off. Underneath was something raw, sharp, hungry. "Something that lets me breathe for once." Ella hissed. "Do you have any idea what it is like to be you, but not you? To be the shadow people forget to look at?" Leah shook her head, dizzy, terrified. "Stop, please. This is my wedding." Ella stepped closer. "That is the point. You get everything. The talent. The studio. The praise. Ethan." She spat his name like a bitter seed. "And what do I get?" "I get to smile at you while you take it all. I never took anything from you." Leah whispered. Her eyelids felt heavy. Her tongue felt wrong. Ella leaned in until their faces were inches apart. "You took my life the moment you were born." Leah tried to scream, but the sound died in her throat. Darkness clawed at the edges of her vision. The last thing she saw was Ella reaching for the zipper of her gown with hands that did not shake. When Leah woke again, she did not wake in white silk. She woke in pain. A slap of cold air. Concrete under her cheek. The taste of metal in her mouth. Her wrists burned. She jerked, and the chain bit deeper. Her eyes adjusted to dimness. A warehouse. Old pallets. Dust. A single high window leaking gray light. Someone had gagged her with cloth that tasted like bleach. Leah thrashed, panic exploding through her chest. A door creaked. Justin Petro sauntered in, hoodie up, chewing gum like he owned the place. He looked at Leah and grinned. "Whoa, she is awake already. Ella is gonna be mad. That stuff cost money." Leah tried to speak. The gag turned it into muffled noise. Justin shrugged. "Relax. You are safe. Kinda. Depends on how you define safe." He crouched, eyes gleaming with greed. "Ella said if I watch you, I get paid. 50 grand upfront. More later." You should have seen her. She was like possessed. Footsteps followed, lighter, faster. Ella entered wearing Leah's robe, Leah's perfume, Leah's calm expression. Only her eyes were different, blazing with triumph. "Look at you," Ella murmured. "The bride in a cage." Leah glared, tears spilling down her temples. Ella crouched beside her and brushed hair from Leah's face with a tenderness that made it worse. "Do not worry. You will not miss anything. I will live it for you." Leah shook her head violently. Ella smiled. "You should feel honored. Not everyone gets replaced by someone who knows them so well." Justin coughed. "So, how long we keeping her?" Ella's gaze stayed on Leah. "Long enough." She stood, smoothing her sleeves. "Justin, lock the door. Check on her twice a day. No calls. No visitors. If she tries anything, remind her she has no one." Leah's heart pounded. No one? Mia, Ethan, someone would notice. Ella paused at the doorway and glanced back. "Oh, and Leah? Happy wedding day." The door shut. Miles away, under cathedral arches and crystal chandeliers, Ella Bennett walked down the aisle on Ethan Hunt's arm, wearing Leah's dress, Leah's veil, Leah's face. Guests rose, cameras lifted, music swelled. Ethan looked at her and smiled, and something in him tightened, a thread pulled too hard. "Are you okay?" he whispered. "Of course," Ella said, practicing Leah's warmth. "I have never been better." Behind the altar, Sunlight cut through stained glass and painted their faces in colors that did not belong to them. And in the bridal suite, in the rush to clear the room, Mia Costa found Leah's favorite earring on the carpet. A small gold stud, the kind Leah guarded like a secret. Mia stared at it, cold rising into her bones. Leah would never leave this, she said to herself. Then she ran. Leah did not know how long she lay on that concrete. Hours, maybe. Time was a blur of hunger cramps and fear, and the slow ache in her wrists. When Justin came back, he tossed a bottle of water near her head like he was feeding a stray. "Drink if you can," he said. "Do not make this harder for me." Leah rolled the bottle with her cheek until it bumped her chin. With her hands tied behind her, she could not open it. Justin watched her struggle, annoyance flaring. "Fine." He cracked the cap and pressed the bottle to her mouth. Water spilled down her chin. Leah drank anyway, desperate. When he pulled away, Leah tried to speak through the gag. Justin leaned close. "No talking." Ella said no talking. He stood and wandered toward the door, then paused. "You know what is funny? She keeps saying she is you now. Like it is that easy. Like a face is a life." Leah glared again, and Justin raised both hands. "Hey, not my problem." The lock clicked, and silence flooded back. Leah closed her eyes and forced her breathing to slow. Panic would not cut rope. Panic would not open doors. She needed her mind. She twisted her wrists, testing. Rope, not chain. Rough fibers. The knot was tight, but not perfect. She inched her hands along the concrete, feeling for something sharp. A nail, a screw, a jagged piece of pallet wood. Her fingers brushed splinters. A thought rose, quiet but fierce. Ella could wear her dress. Ella could copy her smile. But Ella could not copy the things Leah did without thinking. Leah's habits were not quirks. They were muscle memory, stitched into her daily life. Half a spoon of sugar in coffee. Never more, never less. It was not about taste. It was about control. A serrated knife for cake, always. Clean edges mattered. Mint made her skin itch, her throat tighten. A childhood allergy she never forgot. Her signature. The last stroke always lifted, a tiny upward flick, like a promise she made to herself. And the earrings. Leah did not have pierced ears. She never had. She hated needles. She hated pain. Ella had pierced ears. Everyone knew it. Ella liked glitter, liked attention, liked proof she existed. Leah opened her eyes. Those details were her fingerprints. If she lived, they would be her weapon. She found a splintered board edge and began to saw the rope against it, dragging it back and forth until her wrists went numb. The fibers frayed. Minutes stretched like hours. Sweat chilled on her skin. At last, with one last pull, the rope snapped. Leah ripped the gag out and sucked in air like it was a gift. She did not run right away. She listened. No footsteps. No voices. She slipped to the door. Locked. A deadbolt, heavy. She checked the walls. Too high to climb. The window was small but possible. She dragged a crate under it, climbed and shoved. The rusted latch resisted, then gave with a squeal. Night air rushed in, cold and damp with pine. Leah squeezed through, scraping her shoulders, dropping to the ground outside. She fell onto wet grass, chest heaving, and stared at the stars. They looked unreal, like decorations. She got up, trembling, and ran. She ran until her lungs burned, until the dark road turned into a strip of highway. She flagged a passing truck with both arms, hair wild, dress torn, face streaked with grime. The driver slammed the brakes and leaned out. "Ma'am, are you hurt?" Leah swallowed. "Phone, please. I need a phone." 10 minutes later, her fingers shook so badly she almost dropped it. She dialed the only number that felt safe. Mia answered on the second ring. "Leah, Leah, where are you? Oh my God, are you alive?" "Mia," Leah whispered. Her voice broke. "Ella, she drugged me. She took my place. She married Ethan." Mia's inhale was sharp, furious. "I knew it. I knew something was wrong. She dropped your earring, Leah. Your earring. You would never. She is in your house right now, smiling like she owns the world." Leah pressed her forehead to the truck's window. "Listen, I am okay. I escaped. But I cannot go back like this. She will say I am crazy. She will say I am the twin. Then we prove she is lying." Mia snapped. "We have to be smart." Leah closed her eyes. "She cannot copy me. She keeps tripping over my habits. That is how we catch her." Mia's voice turned steady, determined. "I saw it at the reception." She asked for coffee and dumped in 2 full spoons of sugar. She grabbed a mint truffle and said it smelled good. "I nearly choked." Leah's mouth went cold. She likes mint. She always has. I also watched her sign the guest book. Mia said. Her signature looked wrong. Stiff. Leah let out a breath that was almost a laugh. Good. Keep watching. Record everything. Every tiny slip. I will. Mia said. And Leah, I have a friend who works security at the estate. I am sending him after Justin Petro. If he helped her, he knows where you were. We get his phone, we get proof. Leah stared into the darkness beyond the highway, where the city lights glowed like embers. I will get to Ethan. He has to know. Be careful. Mia warned. Ella is not just jealous. She is desperate. Leah's voice hardened. So am I. She hung up and handed the phone back to the driver. Where are you going? He asked. Leah wiped her face with the heel of her hand. To take my life back. Ethan Hunt woke up in the master suite of his Manhattan townhouse and listened to his wife breathe. Something was wrong. It was not one thing. It was 1,000 tiny absences. Leah, his Leah, slept curled on her side, one hand tucked under her chin. She always did. The woman beside him slept flat on her back, arms stiff at her sides, like she did not trust her own body. Ethan stared at the ceiling and tried to tell himself he was imagining it. Weddings were chaos. Emotions were messy. People changed. Still, when morning came, doubt followed him downstairs like a shadow. The housekeeper set a cup of black coffee in front of Leah. Half a spoon of sugar already stirred in, just the way Leah insisted. Ella took one sip and grimaced. This is bitter, she complained, reaching for the sugar bowl. Ethan froze, hand halfway to his newspaper. Bitter? You always say half a spoon is perfect. Ella's fingers paused, then she forced a laugh. Well, maybe I want it sweeter today. I have been under so much stress. Ethan watched her pour in one spoon, then another. His stomach tightened. Later, he drove her to Bennett's studio. The bakery smelled like vanilla and toasted butter, like comfort. Leah had built the place from nothing, late nights, and burned batches and stubborn hope. Mia met them at the door, smile bright, eyes sharp. Leah. Mia chirped, too loud. I made something special for you. Ella lifted her chin. You did. Mia held out a pale green macaron. Mint. Your favorite. Ethan blinked. Leah hated mint. The first time she tasted peppermint tea by accident, her throat had swelled, and he had rushed her to urgent care, terrified. Ella smiled, accepting it like it was a prize. Oh, adorable. Mia's gaze flicked to Ethan for half a second, a quick warning. Ella took a bite. For a moment, nothing happened. Then color drained from her face. She scratched at her neck, at her cheeks, nails digging. What the hell? She gasped. Ethan grabbed her wrist. Leah, stop. Are you okay? Are you having an allergic reaction? Ella forced a shaky laugh, eyes watering. No, it is nothing. Just, maybe I am reacting to something else. Maybe the food coloring. Mia widened her eyes. Food coloring? Leah, you used to eat mint like candy. You called it refreshing. Ella shot Mia a look that could cut glass. Ethan's jaw tightened. In the kitchen, Ethan asked her to show him the new dessert concept she had been talking about for months. Leah would have lit up, hands moving, explaining textures and flavors with quiet passion. Ella stared at the ingredients like they were written in code. Of course, she said quickly. I will, just need my tools. She grabbed a fruit knife from the drawer and started hacking into a sponge cake like she was chopping firewood. Crumbs flew. The edges collapsed. It was brutal. Ethan stepped forward. Leah, you always use the serrated knife. You taught the staff that. Why are you using that? Ella's cheeks flushed. It was closer. It is right there, Ethan said, pointing. The serrated knife hung on the magnetic strip, untouched. Ella swallowed. I am tired, Ethan. Can you not interrogate me in front of my team? Her tone was sharp, impatient. Leah never snapped like that. Leah could be firm, but she was never careless with cruelty. Mia busied herself wiping the counter, lips pressed tight. Ethan caught her eye. Mia looked away too fast. That night, in Ethan's study, he opened a drawer where he kept a small box of memories. Photos, concert tickets, a pressed flower Leah had saved from their first date. He pulled out a napkin from that date, the one Leah had signed when she teased him for asking for her autograph like a fan. The signature was playful, slanted, and the last stroke curved upward, a tiny flick like a smile. He thought of the wedding registry, the way Leah had signed it in the cathedral. Straight, stiff, dead at the end. Ethan's throat went tight. He wanted to confront her. He wanted to demand answers. But fear rose in him, cold and heavy. If this woman was not Leah, where was Leah? He did what he always did when a problem could swallow him whole. He gathered information. He called a private investigator the next morning and said, "I need you to find out everything about my wife's movements on our wedding day. All of it. No one can know." When he hung up, he stared at his wife's wedding ring on the counter, glittering like a lie. Upstairs, Ella walked past the mirror and touched her own ears. Small holes, faint but visible. She covered them with her hair, heart hammering. She had missed that detail. And now, she could feel the walls closing in. Leah waited in the corner booth of a small coffee shop in Queens, hood pulled low, hands wrapped around a cup she barely tasted. Half a spoon of sugar. She forced herself to keep the habit, like an anchor. Every time the door opened, she flinched. Then Ethan walked in. He looked exhausted, tie loosened, eyes scanning the room like he expected danger. When he saw her, he stopped as if the air punched out of him. "Leah," he breathed. Leah stood, and for a second she forgot everything but relief. She crossed the space and let him pull her into his arms. His grip was tight, shaking. "I knew," Ethan whispered into her hair. "I knew something was wrong. I just did not know how bad." Leah pulled back enough to look at him. Her eyes stung. "She locked me in a warehouse. She planned to leave me there." Ethan's face went pale with rage. "Where?" "I do not know exactly. I escaped through a window," Leah said. "Justin Petro was there. He helped her." Ethan's hands clenched. "Justin, I will destroy him." Leah reached out and gripped Ethan's wrist. "Not yet. We need proof. If we rush, she will twist it. She will say I am the twin. She will cry and scream, and make everyone believe her." Ethan swallowed hard. "I hired an investigator. He is tracking her movements. But I need more. Something undeniable." Leah nodded. "My habits. They are not just cute quirks. They are evidence. She cannot do them without slipping." Ethan's eyes sharpened. "Coffee, sugar, mint, the knife, the signature, and my ears," Leah added softly. "I never pierced them." Ethan's voice turned grim. "I saw the holes. She tried to hide them. I wanted to tear the roof off the house." Leah exhaled, grounding herself. "We do it at your family's business gala next week. Everyone will be there. Your board, the press, the donors. If we reveal it then, she cannot bury it." Ethan hesitated. "It will be ugly." "It already is," Leah said. Mia arrived 10 minutes later, sliding into the booth like a storm. She grabbed Leah's hands and squeezed, eyes bright with furious relief. "Look at you," Mia said. "You are alive. I swear I am going to set Ella on fire." Leah managed a shaky smile. "Not literally." Mia snorted. "Fine, metaphorically. I have been collecting everything. Video of her dumping sugar. Video of her eating mint and breaking out. Video of her butchering a cake with the wrong knife. I have timestamps." Ethan leaned in. "Do you have anything linking her to the kidnapping?" Mia's grin turned sharp. "Working on it. My security friend found Justin outside a bar in Brooklyn. He was drunk enough to brag. He has messages from Ella, money transfers, a location pin. We are copying it all." Leah felt her blood turn cold, then hot. "Good." Mia lowered her voice. "Also, the staff at the studio are whispering. Ella cannot bake. She cannot even temper chocolate. She keeps blaming stress." Ethan's jaw flexed. "My mother has noticed too. She asked me why Leah is suddenly rude to the help." Leah flinched. Ethan's family had always been polite to her, but polite was not the same as safe. If Ella poisoned them against her, Leah could lose more than her name. Ethan reached across the table and covered Leah's hand with his. "You will not lose anything. Not if I can stop it." Leah held his gaze. "Then we do it clean. We do it with facts. We let her hang herself with every detail she ignored." Outside the coffee shop, the city moved on, indifferent. Inside, 3 people built a quiet plan with sharp edges. At the end of the meeting, Ethan said, "I will keep her close until the gala. I will act normal. I will not let her suspect." Leah nodded. "I will stay hidden. Mia will keep recording. And when the night comes, we end it." Mia lifted her cup. "To habits," she said. Leah lifted hers. "To truth." Ethan's voice was low, fierce. "To bringing you home." The Hunt Group Winter Gala filled the grand ballroom of the Lenox Hotel with chandeliers and camera flashes. New York's elite drifted between champagne towers and velvet curtains, laughing softly like they had never cried in their lives. Ella stood at Ethan's side in a midnight blue gown, diamonds at her throat, smile polished to perfection. She played her role with care. She touched Ethan's arm. She laughed at the right jokes. She looked like a wife, but she felt hunted. Ethan's hand on her back was gentle, and that gentleness terrified her. Across the room, Mia slipped between guests with a server tray, her hair pinned up, phone hidden against the silver. She had a clear view of the stage, the bar, and the exits. And near the back, in the shadow by a column, Leah waited. She wore a matching midnight blue gown, hair pinned in the same style. Not to copy, to mirror, to force the world to see the lie. Her heart pounded as the lights dimmed, and Ethan walked up to the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen," Ethan began, voice steady. "Thank you for supporting the Hunt Foundation. Tonight is about generosity and community. It is also about family." Ella's smile tightened. Ethan glanced toward her, then away. "I want to take a moment to thank my wife, Leah Hunt. She is the heart of my home. She is the reason I believe in building something that lasts." Applause rose. Ella lifted her chin, ready to bask in it. Ethan continued. "There is one more thing I need to say. I have learned that truth is not always loud. Sometimes it hides in the smallest details, in the habits we do without thinking." A ripple of confusion moved through the room. Ella's fingers dug into her clutch. Ethan raised his hand. "Leah," he said, turning toward the entrance. "Will you come up here?" Ella's head snapped toward the door. Leah stepped into the light. Gasps exploded. Cameras clicked. People whispered, hands flying to mouths. For a heartbeat, the room seemed to crack in half. "That is," someone murmured. "Is that Leah?" "No, that is Leah," someone else said, pointing at Ella. Two faces, one name. Ella's stomach dropped. Leah walked slowly, each step a promise. Mia moved closer, ready. Ethan stepped down from the stage and met Leah halfway, offering his arm like he was escorting her home. Leah took it. On stage, she faced the crowd, then turned to Ella. Her voice carried, calm and clear. "My name is Leah Bennett," she said. "And I am the woman Ethan married. The one standing beside him is my twin sister, Ella Bennett." Ella laughed, too loud, too sharp. "This is insane. I am Leah. She is the liar. She is jealous because I married Ethan." Leah looked at her, eyes steady. "If you are me, then you can prove it. Not with a face. With facts." Ethan gestured, and a waiter approached with 2 cups of black coffee. Leah spoke to the crowd. "Anyone who knows me knows one thing. I take my coffee black. No milk. And I only add half a spoon of sugar. Always." Ella's pulse hammered. Half a spoon. She had tried to remember. She had tried. But her mouth already anticipated sweetness. Leah picked up her cup and sipped, relaxed, like the taste belonged to her. Ella picked up hers. The coffee hit her tongue like punishment. Her face twitched. Her hand drifted toward the sugar bowl on the table. Leah's voice cut through. "Go on. Add your sugar. That is what you always do." Ella froze, eyes darting. The crowd leaned in, hungry. Ethan said softly. "Leah never adds more." Ella swallowed hard. "People change." She snapped. "It is a drink." Leah nodded. "Then let us try something else." A staff member wheeled out a small dessert cart. On it sat a mint macaron, a slice of cake, a serrated knife, and a fruit knife. Ella's throat tightened. "Mint." Leah held up the mint macaron. "I am allergic to mint. Always have been. I cannot even smell it without itching. My sister loves mint. She always has." Ella's eyes widened, panic flickering. "I do not have to prove anything to you. You do, if you want my life." Leah replied. Mia stepped forward, voice bright. "Just one bite, Leah. For old time's sake." The crowd laughed nervously. Ella stared at the macaron like it was a trap, because it was. Leah set it down. "Fine. Then cut the cake. Use the knife I always use. The serrated one." Ella grabbed the fruit knife instead, because it was familiar, because her hands moved before her brain could stop them. Leah's expression did not change, but the room shifted. People murmured. Someone in the front row whispered. "She took the wrong knife." Ethan's voice turned cold. "Leah taught our staff to use the serrated knife. She says it keeps the layers clean." Ella's face flushed, and for the first time that night, her mask cracked. "Enough. This is a circus." Leah lifted a pen and a card. "Then sign your name. In front of everyone, Leah Bennett." The last stroke goes up. Ella snatched the pen, anger shaking her hand. She scribbled fast, messy, wrong. Leah took the card and held it beside another card, one Mia had saved from the wedding registry. The difference was obvious even from a distance. Mia raised her phone and projected the screen to the ballroom display. Video played, clear and brutal. Ella dumping 2 spoons of sugar. Ella biting mint and scratching at her skin. Ella hacking cake with a fruit knife. Ella's ear with the faint pierced hole. Then the final punch. An audio clip echoed through the ballroom speakers. Justin Petro's voice, slurred and cocky. Ella paid me to keep Leah locked up. Warehouse out by the old rail yard. She said no one would ever find her. The room erupted. Security moved. The police, already waiting outside because Mia had called them, pushed in through the doors. Ella's face went white, then red, then twisted with something ugly. You. She hissed at Leah, eyes wild. You ruined everything. Leah stepped closer, voice low enough that only Ella could hear. No, you did. Ella lunged, but two officers grabbed her arms. She screamed, trying to twist free. I am her. I am Leah. I deserve this. Leah did not flinch. Ethan stood beside Leah, hand steady at her back. As Ella was dragged away, her diamonds caught the chandelier light and scattered it across the floor like broken glass. News about the gala hit Manhattan by morning. The Hunt Group scandal flooded gossip sites, business pages, and morning shows. Two identical faces, a wedding, a kidnapping, a public unmasking built on sugar and mint and a knife. Ella Bennett was charged with kidnapping, fraud, and identity theft. Justin Petro, offered a deal in exchange for testimony, still faced serious time for helping her hide Leah. Leah sat in Ethan's kitchen with a mug of coffee, half a spoon of sugar stirring in slow circles. Her hands still shook sometimes. Trauma did not leave politely. Ethan watched her like he was memorizing her all over again, careful not to overwhelm, careful not to look away. You do not have to go back to the townhouse yet, he said. We can stay somewhere else. A hotel, my mother's place, anywhere you feel safe. Leah shook her head. No, I want my home. I want my bed. I want my studio. I want to walk through my own front door and know it is mine. Ethan nodded. Then we do it today. Mia arrived with a paper bag full of pastries and a grin that tried to hide how close she had come to breaking. You two look like you have not slept in a year, Mia declared, dropping the bag on the counter. Eat. Sugar is not just evidence. It is therapy. Leah laughed, and the sound startled her. It was small, but it was real. Mia pulled Leah into a tight hug. I am so sorry, she whispered. I should have caught it sooner. Leah hugged back, breathing in the scent of flour and cinnamon clinging to Mia's coat. You did catch it. You saved me. Later, at the studio, Leah pushed open the door and felt the familiar wave of warmth and butter and vanilla. The ovens hummed. The display case gleamed. Her staff looked up, shocked, then relieved. Boss. One of them whispered. Leah nodded, swallowing hard. It is me. They clapped, some crying, some laughing, all speaking at once. Leah let the noise wash over her like sunlight. In the kitchen, she picked up her serrated knife and set it on the counter. She lined up a cake, leveled her shoulders, and cut clean, perfect slices. The motion steadied her, like a prayer. Ethan watched from the doorway, eyes soft. You are back, he said. Leah met his gaze. I never left. She just tried to hide me. Over the next weeks, lawyers handled the legal mess. Security upgraded the townhouse and the studio. Ethan's investigator provided timelines, witness statements, and location data that matched Justin's confession. The case became airtight. Ella, sitting behind a glass partition in court, stared at Leah with a face that looked like a mirror gone wrong. When the judge read the sentence, Ella's shoulders sagged as if even her rage had run out of fuel. Leah did not feel joy. Not exactly. She felt closure, like a door clicking shut. On a crisp Saturday in early spring, Ethan took Leah back to Hudson Ridge Estate. Not for a gala, not for cameras, for a second chance. They stood under an arch of white roses and soft lights. No cathedral, no audience of strangers. Just a small group of friends, a quiet officiant, and the truth. Mia stood beside Leah as maid of honor, wiping her eyes with the back of her wrist. If anyone tries to steal you again, she muttered. I am bringing a baseball bat. Leah smiled. Noted. Ethan took Leah's hands and said, voice rough. I do not care how many faces try to stand in front of me. I will always find you. I will always know you. Leah's throat tightened. How? Ethan's smile was gentle. Because you are you. Because you do not fake kindness. Because you still add half a spoon of sugar when no one is watching. Leah laughed through tears. That is not romantic. It is everything. Ethan said. When they kissed, the applause that followed felt warm, human, earned. At the reception, Leah served cake she cut with her serrated knife, slices perfect and clean. She made coffee with half a spoon of sugar, the habit precise. She kept mint far away, a quiet boundary. And when she signed the marriage certificate, her last stroke lifted upward, small and sure. A promise. Her life was hers again. Not because she fought louder than her sister. Not because she was colder, or crueler, or more ruthless. Because she paid attention. Because the smallest things, the ones no one thought mattered, had been her shield all along. And because love, real love, recognized her even in the dark.
Thanks for watching. Follow for more romance stories.